Chapter 1. Echoes of Tragedy. The city sprawled beneath a veil of twilight, its streets alive with the hum of distant sirens and the flicker of neon lights. In this labyrinth of shadows and secrets, a solitary figure stood, silhouetted against the cityscape's eerie glow. Meet Dre, a young man with eyes that held the weight of unspoken sorrows and a spirit eternally consumed by curiosity. On a dimly lit stage, his fingers danced gracefully over the keys of a vintage typewriter, breathing life into the words that would echo through the digital realm. The glow of multiple screens illuminated his face, casting a pale blue hue on his features as he prepared to weave another tale, a tale of tragedy and unsolved mysteries. The room, adorned with newspaper clippings, crime scene photographs, and an array of detective novels, seemed like the lair of a mad scholar consumed by a singular obsession. Dre's voice, smooth as midnight, resonated through the microphone as he began his narrative, his words painting vivid pictures in the minds of his viewers. "In the heart of our city," he began, his voice a haunting melody, "there exists a darkness that the authorities choose to ignore, a darkness born from unsolved crimes, where the cries of the victims linger like ghosts, demanding justice." He leaned closer to the camera, his eyes intense, as if daring his audience to look away. "But we won't ignore them. We won't let their stories fade into the abyss of forgotten tragedies. This channel," he said, pointing at the screen with conviction, "is not just about mysteries. It's about uncovering the truth, no matter how deep it's buried." The screen flickered to life, displaying headlines of long-forgotten crimes. Faces of victims appeared, frozen in time, their eyes pleading for someone to unveil the secrets that had stolen their lives away. Dre's voice lowered, a whisper now, drawing the viewers into his world. "My journey into this abyss began with a personal tragedy," he confessed, his tone raw with emotion. "My uncle, a soul so vibrant, was silenced by a murderer whose identity remains a mystery. The pain of that loss birthed a fire within me, a fire that drives me to seek answers for families like mine, families left in the darkness of unanswered questions." He paused, letting the weight of his words settle in the air. The room seemed to hold its breath, anticipating the unraveling of the narrative. "So, my dear viewers, join me," he implored, his voice a plea and a challenge all at once. "Join me in this pursuit of truth, in this exploration of the shadows where whispers of the past beg to be heard. Let us embark on a journey together, a journey to bring light to the darkest corners of our city." With that, the screen faded to black, leaving only the soft glow of the monitors reflecting in Dre's eyes. The stage was set, the prologue written. The city held its breath, unaware of the storm brewing within its very heart, a storm named Dre, the seeker of lost truths. Chapter 2. Threads of Connection. Amidst the city's pulsating heartbeat, Dre delved deeper into the enigmatic tapestry of unsolved crimes. His room, illuminated by the ethereal glow of countless screens, became a sanctuary for lost souls yearning for justice. Newspaper clippings, crime scene photographs, and cryptic notes covered every inch of available space, forming a mosaic of intrigue. With every keystroke, Dre unearthed connections that transcended the boundaries of time and place. The night air was thick with the scent of aged documents and the anticipation of revelations yet to come. His eyes, illuminated by the eerie blue light of his screens, gleamed with a fierce determination as he traced the lines between seemingly unrelated incidents. One by one, he connected the dots, revealing a sinister pattern woven into the fabric of the city's crimes. A series of unsolved mysteries, each more haunting than the last, revealed themselves to be interconnected threads in a tapestry of corruption and deceit. The victims, once isolated in their tragedies, now shared a common fate, a fate orchestrated by shadowy figures lurking in the corridors of power. As the evidence mounted, so did the tension in Dre's room. The walls seemed to close in, echoing with the whispered secrets of the past. Dre's fingers danced across the keyboard, his mind a whirlwind of deductions and deductions. He knew he was onto something significant, something that could shatter the illusion of tranquility that the city had carefully maintained. However, the darkness was not ignorant of his pursuit. Unbeknownst to Dre, Mayor Sheldon's watchful eyes followed his every move. The corrupt politician, threatened by the growing storm of revelations, devised schemes to thwart Dre's progress. But Dre was no stranger to adversity. He had faced the abyss of grief and emerged stronger, his resolve unyielding. Outside his window, rain began to fall, casting a melancholic rhythm on the city streets. Inside, the hum of computers and the scratching of pens on paper melded into a symphony of determination. The room seemed alive, resonating with the shared heartbeat of every victim whose story Dre sought to tell. The chapter closed with Dre, bathed in the soft glow of his monitors, staring at the evidence before him. His eyes, a reflection of the storm within his soul, harbored a mix of excitement and trepidation. The threads of connection had been unraveled, revealing a web of deceit that ensnared the very foundation of the city. The city, unaware of the storm gathering in its midst, continued to slumber, blissfully ignorant of the tempest about to be unleashed. In the heart of the night, Dre stood as a sentinel, guarding the truth against the shadows, his journey far from over. Chapter 3. Roots of Resolve. In the heart of the city, where shadows mingled with neon lights, Dre's story began. He was born into a world where poverty clung to the air like a thick fog, and opportunity seemed like a distant dream. The streets he wandered as a child were not paved with gold, but stained with the struggles of those trying to make ends meet. Yet, amid the chaos, he found solace in the most unexpected of places, the worn-out, cozy apartment he shared with his uncle, Hector. Hector wasn't just family. He was a beacon of warmth in Dre's tumultuous world. With eyes that held wisdom and a smile that could melt even the coldest hearts, Hector was more than just an uncle. He was a father figure, a mentor, and a friend. He taught Dre the art of storytelling, weaving enchanting tales that whisked them away from the harsh realities outside their door. Through these stories, Dre discovered the power of narratives, the ability to shape perceptions, and the importance of seeking truth. Their tiny apartment, though modest, was a sanctuary. Shelves lined with books stood testament to Hector's love for knowledge, and the walls were adorned with maps, inspiring young Dre to dream of exploring the world beyond their neighborhood. In this cocoon of wisdom and imagination, Dre's fascination with mysteries took root. Hector fueled his curiosity, introducing him to detective novels and true crime stories that transported them into the minds of investigators. However, life in their neighborhood was far from idyllic. Crime was a constant companion, lurking in the shadows of their daily lives. Hector, with his keen sense of justice, often helped neighbors in times of trouble. Dre watched, wide-eyed, as his uncle fearlessly confronted wrongdoers, his words sharper than any weapon. It was during one such incident, where Hector assisted a grieving family seeking justice, that the seed of Dre's mission was planted. Years passed, and tragedy struck the close-knit duo. Hector, the pillar of strength, became the victim of a senseless crime. The police investigation, plagued by apathy and corruption, yielded no results. It was a devastating blow to Dre, who had not only lost his beloved uncle, but also witnessed the system's failure to deliver justice. Fueled by grief, anger, and a determination instilled by Hector, Dre channeled his pain into action. With a camera in hand and the spirit of a detective in his heart, he established his YouTube channel, determined to expose the truth behind unsolved crimes. His mission was twofold: to seek justice for his uncle's memory and to prevent others from enduring the same heartache. Through the lens of his camera, Dre found his voice. He became the storyteller Hector had inspired him to be, unraveling mysteries, giving voices to the voiceless, and shining a spotlight on the injustices that often went unnoticed. The YouTube channel became more than a platform. It became a tribute to Hector's legacy, a legacy of resilience, compassion, and unyielding resolve. And so, armed with his uncle's teachings, the memories of their shared stories, and an unshakable commitment to truth, Dre ventured into the world, his camera capturing not just the crimes, but the spirit of hope and redemption that persisted even in the darkest corners of society. In every video he created, he channeled the lessons of his past, transforming tragedy into a beacon of light, illuminating the path toward justice. Chapter 4. Alliances and Deceptions. In the depths of the night, where the city's pulse beats in hushed whispers, alliances forged in the crucible of secrets began to take shape. Dre, the relentless seeker of truth, found himself in the company of kindred spirits, those who refused to bow to the darkness that threatened to engulf their world. Amidst the aroma of freshly brewed coffee and the faint scent of ink, Dre met Amelia, a tenacious investigative journalist with eyes as sharp as her wit. Her fingers danced across her laptop, pulling strings of information from the digital abyss. Her voice, when she spoke, carried the weight of years spent uncovering the city's buried scandals. And then there was Malcolm, a retired detective whose steely gaze hinted at a past haunted by the ghosts of unsolved cases. His hands, weathered by years of combing through crime scenes, held a wisdom that transcended the pages of textbooks. He had seen the city at its best and worst, and his presence lent an air of authority to their makeshift investigation room. Together, they formed an unlikely triumvirate, bound by a shared purpose: to expose the corruption that had infested the city's veins. In the dim glow of a single desk lamp, they exchanged tales of their encounters with the city's underbelly, each story a testament to their resilience in the face of adversity. As the night deepened, so did their resolve. They pored over documents, analyzed photographs, and dissected witness statements, seeking the missing pieces of the puzzle. The room buzzed with the energy of shared purpose, an invisible thread weaving them into a force to be reckoned with. Yet, amidst their camaraderie, betrayal slithered in the shadows like a venomous serpent. A trusted source, once believed to be an ally, revealed their true allegiance to the corrupt forces they sought to unveil. Information was leaked, trails went cold, and doubt seeped into their ranks. In the face of deception, their alliance was tested. Dre's eyes, once filled with unwavering determination, now harbored a flicker of doubt. But adversity only served to steel their resolve. Amelia's pen danced across her notebook, devising a plan to smoke out the traitor, while Malcolm's experienced eyes analyzed the subtle nuances of their interactions. The chapter ended with a sense of unease hanging in the air, yet within that tension lay a steely determination. The night had revealed both allies and adversaries, but their purpose remained unshaken. The city may have been steeped in darkness, but in the heart of that darkness, a flicker of light emerged, the light of unwavering resolve and unbreakable bonds. Chapter 5. Ink and Resilience. Amelia's story unfolded against the backdrop of a neighborhood where dreams struggled to breathe and hope was a fragile ember in the cold wind of adversity. Born into a modest family, she learned early that life was a tapestry of challenges, each thread woven with perseverance and tenacity. Growing up, her parents, hard-working individuals with hearts of gold, instilled in her the value of education and the power of words. Their cramped apartment, adorned with shelves sagging under the weight of books, became a sanctuary for young Amelia. In the world of literature, she found solace and escape, her imagination taking flight amidst the pages of crime novels and investigative journalism pieces. Amelia's parents, both avid readers, encouraged her love for storytelling. Their evenings were filled with discussions about societal issues, justice, and the importance of truth. These conversations, fueled by intellect and empathy, planted the seeds of her future career. It was here, in the warmth of her family's support, that her passion for investigative journalism was born. As she grew older, the world outside her cozy home revealed its harsh realities. Crime and corruption cast their ominous shadows, touching the lives of those around her. The injustices she witnessed fueled a burning desire within her to be a voice for the voiceless, a beacon of truth in a world often shrouded in lies. Amelia's journey into investigative journalism was not just a career choice. It was a calling, a moral obligation she felt toward her community. Armed with a pen and an unyielding spirit, she delved into the darkest corners of society, exposing corruption, championing the underprivileged, and giving a voice to those silenced by fear. Her writing, elegant yet powerful, became a weapon of change. Through her articles, she unmasked the faces of injustice, forcing the city to confront its demons. Her stories were not just narratives. They were mirrors reflecting the city's conscience, urging it to acknowledge its flaws and strive for redemption. Motivated by a profound empathy for the victims and a deep-seated belief in the power of storytelling, Amelia's investigative pieces transcended the boundaries of journalism. Each article was a testament to her unwavering commitment to truth, a commitment forged in the crucible of her childhood and tempered by the challenges of adulthood. In a world where truth often wavered in the face of deception, Amelia stood as a symbol of resilience. Her words became a source of inspiration, sparking conversations, igniting debates, and paving the way for change. She didn't just report the news, she wrote history, one expose at a time. Driven by her upbringing, her love for literature, and an unshakable belief in the transformative power of words, Amelia became more than a journalist. She became a force of nature, an embodiment of the change she wished to see in the world. And in the ink-stained pages of her notebooks, the city found not just a chronicler, but a storyteller whose tales carried the echoes of truth and the whispers of redemption. Chapter 6. The Unyielding Resolve. In the heart of the city, where ambition and adversity clashed like titans, Malcolm's story began. He was born into a neighborhood where resilience was not a choice, but a necessity. The son of hard-working parents, Malcolm grew up in the echoing symphony of urban life, amidst the cacophony of car horns, laughter, and occasional sirens in the distance. Their modest apartment, though humble, was filled with love and dreams of a better future. His parents, survivors of their own battles, instilled in him the importance of justice and the value of standing up for those who couldn't defend themselves. From an early age, Malcolm possessed a keen sense of empathy, an ability to perceive the unspoken pain in people's eyes. As he navigated the challenges of his youth, Malcolm found solace in the stories of heroes and detectives, those brave souls who stood against the tide of darkness. Their tales, devoured in the flickering light of a street lamp outside their window, ignited a spark within him. He dreamt of becoming a detective, not just to solve crimes, but to be a beacon of hope in a world often clouded by despair. The city, with its myriad complexities and contradictions, fascinated him. It was a puzzle waiting to be unraveled, a labyrinth of secrets begging to be revealed. While others saw chaos, Malcolm saw patterns, connections that transcended the surface. His remarkable analytical mind, coupled with an intuitive understanding of human nature, set him apart even in his early years. His motivation to become a detective was not just a career choice, it was a calling, a divine purpose he felt deep within his soul. He yearned to be the voice for those silenced by injustice, to be the one who brought closure to grieving families, and to be the unwavering sentinel guarding his city against the encroaching darkness. Malcolm's prowess as a detective became legendary. His ability to decipher cryptic clues and unravel the most convoluted cases earned him respect among his peers and struck fear into the hearts of criminals. His name became synonymous with justice, and his solved cases became folklore, whispered in awe and reverence in the very alleys he patrolled. However, his retirement marked a turning point, a chapter that was both liberating and bewildering. The badge, once his source of pride, became a heavy relic of the past. Without the thrill of investigations and the pursuit of truth, Malcolm felt adrift, like a ship without a compass. The quietude of his newfound life felt like a storm, its silence deafening in comparison to the chaos he had once thrived in. His struggle in retirement was not just a battle against boredom. It was a fight against the ghosts of unsolved cases, against the faces of victims that haunted his dreams. The city, once his canvas, now seemed like an unfinished masterpiece, its mysteries waiting to be solved. Malcolm wrestled with the void left by his absence from the force, his restless spirit yearning for the adrenaline of the chase. In the shadows of his past triumphs, Malcolm found himself grappling with the essence of his identity. He was more than a detective. He was the embodiment of justice, a living testament to the unyielding resolve of the human spirit. His story, etched in the annals of the city's history, was far from over. For deep within him, the spark that had ignited in his youth still glowed, a beacon of hope waiting to reignite the fire that had once burned fiercely in his eyes. Chapter 7. Echoes of the Forgotten. It was a case long buried in the city's archives, gathering dust among the forgotten mysteries of the past. The unsolved murder of Sarah Bennett, a young woman whose life had been brutally cut short, was nothing more than a fading memory in the annals of the police department. But to Dre, Sarah's story was more than just ink on yellowed paper. It was a haunting melody, a symphony of injustice that begged to be heard. Driven by an insatiable curiosity and armed with an unyielding determination, Dre embarked on a relentless quest for the truth. He dove into the depths of police reports, old interviews, and eyewitness accounts that had been dismissed as inconsequential. In the quiet hours of the night, he meticulously pieced together the fragments of the case, connecting dots that had long been ignored. His research led him to the city's underbelly, where whispers and secrets intertwined like vines in a dense forest. Through his YouTube channel, Dre appealed to his audience, urging them to contribute their own insights and theories. His subscribers, a community of armchair detectives and true crime enthusiasts, became active participants in the investigation. They analyzed clues, debated theories, and shared their own experiences, forming a collective intelligence that far surpassed the capabilities of the city's law enforcement. Among his contributors was a retired forensic expert who had worked on the original case. This seasoned professional, disillusioned by the lack of progress, divulged crucial information that had been buried under bureaucracy. His revelation proved to be the linchpin in the case, providing a fresh perspective that sent shockwaves through Dre's investigation. As the pieces of the puzzle fell into place, a chilling narrative emerged. Sarah's murder was not a random act of violence. It was a calculated scheme orchestrated by powerful individuals with sinister motives. Dre's findings, supported by meticulously researched evidence and eyewitness testimonies, painted a harrowing picture of corruption and cover-ups that reached the highest echelons of the city's hierarchy. The revelation shook the city to its core. News of Dre's breakthrough spread like wildfire, capturing the attention of not just his dedicated subscribers, but also the mainstream media. His YouTube channel, once a niche corner of the internet, became the epicenter of a nationwide conversation. Overnight, Dre went from being an obscure content creator to a household name, his face plastered across newspapers and television screens. However, fame came at a price. Mayor Sheldon, threatened by the exposure of the city's dark secrets, viewed Dre as a formidable adversary. The young investigator's revelations had not only tarnished the city's image, but also cast a spotlight on the mayor's questionable dealings. Enraged and desperate, Sheldon vowed to silence Dre and his channel, considering him a dangerous whistleblower who needed to be eliminated. For Dre, this newfound attention was both a blessing and a curse. While the spotlight brought him recognition and support, it also made him a target. He realized he had crossed a line, delving into secrets that powerful forces were willing to protect at any cost. As the city held its breath, unaware of the storm brewing in its midst, Dre prepared himself for a battle he never anticipated. A battle that would test his courage, resilience, and unwavering commitment to justice. The echoes of Sarah's murder had reverberated through time, and now they were leading Dre into a confrontation that would define his legacy as a relentless seeker of truth. Chapter 8. Shadows of Ambition. In the murky alleys of the city where desperation hung in the air like a toxic fog, Mayor Sheldon's story unfolded. Born into a world of privilege, he grew up shielded from the harsh realities that plagued the lives of the city's working class. His childhood home, an opulent mansion nestled atop a hill, was a stark contrast to the crumbling buildings and crowded tenements that defined the neighborhoods he would one day govern. From an early age, ambition coursed through Sheldon's veins like a poison. Surrounded by influential figures and political discussions, he became enamored with the allure of power. While other children played in the streets, he immersed himself in books on politics and economics, his mind calculating the pathways to success. Driven by an insatiable hunger for influence, he set his sights on a future in politics. Sheldon's initial foray into public service seemed genuine. He championed causes, promised change, and portrayed himself as a man of the people. His eloquence and charm won the hearts of the working class, who believed he would be their voice in the corridors of power. However, beneath the charismatic facade lurked a cunning mind, a mind that saw politics not as a means to serve, but as a ladder to climb. As he ascended the political ranks, Sheldon's transformation was gradual yet insidious. The allure of wealth and influence, combined with the whispers of shadowy figures in the city's underbelly, proved too tempting to resist. Secret meetings in dimly lit rooms became his norm, deals with venture capitalists, business magnates, and underworld bosses his currency. Sheldon, once a man for the people, now danced to the tunes of the city's most nefarious characters. Corruption, like a malignant tumor, spread through the city's foundations under Sheldon's reign. Budgets meant for public welfare were diverted into the pockets of the privileged few. Police forces, once the guardians of the people, found their resources slashed, leaving the city vulnerable to the very crimes they were meant to combat. Sheldon justified these actions with a twisted logic, claiming that economic growth for the wealthy elite would eventually benefit everyone. However, his greed knew no bounds. He devised intricate schemes to siphon funds, redirecting them toward his own ventures and businesses connected to his wealthy allies. Luxury condos and extravagant malls sprouted like weeds in the city, displacing communities and erasing the city's history in the name of progress, a progress that lined his pockets while the working class suffered. Sheldon's corruption knew no moral boundaries. He silenced whistleblowers, intimidated journalists, and manipulated the legal system to his advantage. Anyone who dared to challenge him found their lives ruined, their reputations tarnished by the smear campaigns he orchestrated with ruthless precision. The once charming politician had become a puppet master, pulling strings behind the scenes while wearing the mask of a benevolent leader in the public eye. His indifference to the plight of the poor and the working class became a hallmark of his regime, a chilling reminder of the lengths he would go to protect his ill-gotten wealth and maintain his grip on power. In the shadows, he thrived, orchestrating deals with corporations that exploited the city's resources and labor while contributing nothing to its welfare. The city, once vibrant with hope, now languished under his rule, its essence drained by his insatiable greed. And so, Mayor Sheldon ruled, not as a servant of the people, but as a merciless despot, his legacy marred by corruption and deceit. The city's cries for justice went unanswered, drowned out by the clinking of glasses in his lavish banquets and the sinister laughter of those who shared in his ill-gotten gains. In the city he was meant to uplift, Sheldon cast a long, dark shadow, a shadow that obscured the sun of hope and cast the entire metropolis into a never-ending night of despair. Chapter 9. The Unraveling Web. The city buzzed with anticipation, unaware that their lives were about to be upended. Dre and his team, armed with a mountain of evidence, had meticulously unraveled the web of Mayor Sheldon's corruption. What had once seemed impenetrable was now exposed, each thread meticulously pulled apart, revealing the intricate tapestry of deceit woven by the very person they had entrusted to lead. It began with a trove of financial records obtained through a dogged pursuit of truth. These documents, buried deep within the city's labyrinthine bureaucracy, unveiled a trail of diverted funds. Dre's team, consisting of tech-savvy enthusiasts and seasoned investigators, combed through the data, their eyes alight with determination. They discovered a complex network of transactions, funds siphoned off into offshore accounts and shadowy businesses that led back to none other than Mayor Sheldon. With the evidence in hand, Dre orchestrated a live stream on his YouTube channel, Original Crime Series, turning his virtual platform into a courtroom of public opinion. The world watched in anticipation as he meticulously presented the damning evidence, piece by incriminating piece. The atmosphere was charged with tension as Dre's voice, unwavering and resolute, reverberated through the digital landscape. He revealed the offshore accounts where taxpayer money had vanished, the shell corporations designed to obfuscate the flow of funds, and the business ventures secretly owned by the mayor. Every revelation was met with gasps of disbelief, the city's collective outrage palpable even through screens. The live stream became a pivotal moment, the climax of months of relentless investigation and sleepless nights. As Dre laid bare Sheldon's misdeeds, the city watched in horror as their once beloved mayor's true face was exposed. Social media erupted, hashtags trended, and ordinary citizens became digital activists, sharing the revelations far and wide. Chapter 10. The Fall of a Titan. The fallout was swift and merciless. The city, once complacent, rose in collective fury. Protests filled the streets, placards demanding justice waved high. The media, once complicit in their silence, now unleashed a torrent of exposés, digging deeper into Sheldon's nefarious connections. The very institutions Sheldon had manipulated now turned against him, their allegiance shifted by the overwhelming weight of evidence. In the wake of Dre's live stream, law enforcement agencies, now reinvigorated by public outcry, launched official investigations. Mayor Sheldon, once untouchable, found himself cornered. His attempts to deflect blame, to dismiss the accusations as baseless smears, fell on deaf ears. The city had awakened, and it hungered for justice. Within weeks, the evidence compiled by Dre's team was corroborated by official inquiries. The offshore accounts were traced, the money trails meticulously followed, and witnesses came forward, their testimonies painting a damning picture of corruption at the highest level of the city's administration. Sheldon's empire crumbled, his allies abandoned him, and his reputation, once polished to a shine, lay shattered on the ground. The final blow came when Sheldon, faced with irrefutable evidence, was arrested. Cameras flashed as he was led away in handcuffs, the image of his fall from grace broadcast to the world. The city breathed a collective sigh of relief, their faith in justice reaffirmed. The once mighty mayor was now a symbol of downfall, a cautionary tale etched into the city's history. Dre's channel, once a humble corner of the internet, now stood as a testament to the power of truth. His investigation had not only exposed a corrupt politician, but had also inspired a movement. The city, scarred but resilient, began the arduous task of rebuilding. With Sheldon behind bars, a newfound sense of hope permeated the air. The echoes of corruption, once deafening, now faded into the background, replaced by the steady rhythm of progress. In the aftermath of the storm, Dre stood amidst the rubble, his expression a mix of satisfaction and determination. The battle had been won, but the war for justice continued. With the support of his team and the unwavering backing of the people, he vowed to remain vigilant. The city had learned a valuable lesson. that the pursuit of truth was not just the duty of investigators and journalists, but the responsibility of every citizen. And so, the city embarked on a journey of redemption, guided by the light of honesty and integrity. The shadows of the past, once looming large, now faded into obscurity. The future, once uncertain, now brimmed with possibility. The fall of Mayor Sheldon had taught the city a profound lesson, that in the face of corruption, unity and truth could prevail, that even the mightiest could be brought to justice, and that the pursuit of a better tomorrow was a battle worth fighting. Chapter 11. Redemption and Justice. The city, once veiled in darkness, basked in the dawning light of truth. Mayor Sheldon, once a symbol of power, now stood in the harsh glare of justice, his empire of corruption crumbling around him. The courtroom buzzed with the anticipation of the verdict, a moment that would echo through the annals of the city's history. Dre, Amelia, and Malcolm sat in the courtroom, their eyes fixed on the judge, their hearts echoing the collective heartbeat of the city. The silence in the room was thick with anticipation, broken only by the sound of the judge's gavel as it struck the wooden stand. "Guilty," the judge pronounced, each syllable reverberating through the room. The word hung in the air, heavy with the weight of vindication and retribution. The city exhaled, releasing years of pent-up frustration and despair. Outside the courthouse, the city erupted in a cacophony of cheers and tears. Faces once etched with hopelessness now glowed with newfound belief in the system. The corrupt had been toppled, and justice had prevailed. Dre's eyes, reflecting the collective triumph of the city, glistened with unshed tears. His journey, born from personal tragedy, had culminated in a victory that transcended his own pain. Amelia's pen danced across her notebook, capturing the raw emotions of the moment. Her words, etched with ink, immortalized the triumph of truth over deceit, a testament to the power of relentless pursuit and unwavering belief. Malcolm, his weathered face etched with a rare smile, shook hands with his allies. The courtroom, once a battleground, now stood as a temple of justice. The city had witnessed the fall of a corrupt titan, and in his place rose the promise of a new beginning. Yet, amid the celebration, a somber reality lingered. The scars of the past would not vanish overnight, and the city's wounds would take time to heal. But the redemption of one man had sparked a flicker of hope, a beacon that illuminated the path toward a brighter future. In the days that followed, the city underwent a transformation. The corrupt were ousted, and the honest took charge. Reforms swept through the law enforcement agencies, cleansing them of the stains of bribery and deception. The city's streets, once plagued by crime, saw a resurgence of community spirit and solidarity. Dre, now a symbol of hope, continued his work. His YouTube channel, once a platform for exposing corruption, became a testament to the city's resilience. He shared stories of redemption, of individuals who had risen from the ashes, their lives transformed by the promise of a better tomorrow. The chapter ended with a montage of the city's transformation. Crumbling buildings were replaced by vibrant communities. Despair was replaced by determination, and apathy by activism. The city, once shrouded in shadows, had emerged into the light of redemption and justice. And in the heart of it all stood Dre, his eyes reflecting the city's newfound hope. His journey, marked by pain and perseverance, had not only brought justice to his uncle's memory, but had also rekindled the flame of hope in the hearts of the city's inhabitants. The chapter closed, not with an ending, but with a new beginning, a beginning born from the ashes of corruption, where the city stood united, redeemed, and ready to face the challenges of a brighter tomorrow. Chapter 12. A Beacon of Change. The city, once a battleground for truth, had undergone a profound transformation. In the aftermath of the corruption's fall, a new energy permeated its streets. The air was thick with determination, and the scent of change wafted through every corner carried on the whispers of hope. Dre's YouTube channel, once a vessel for exposing the city's dark underbelly, had become a beacon of change. With each video, he shared stories of redemption, highlighting individuals who had emerged victorious from the depths of despair. Their tales echoed through the city, inspiring others to rise above their circumstances. In the heart of a rejuvenated community, Dre found himself surrounded by people who had once been victims of the city's neglect. Together, they worked tirelessly to rebuild what had been destroyed by years of corruption. The abandoned buildings that had once housed despair were now transformed into shelters, offering solace to the homeless. Amelia, the intrepid journalist, continued her work. Her articles, once laden with the weight of exposure, now told tales of resilience and triumph. She became the voice of the voiceless, her words painting vivid portraits of individuals who had refused to succumb to adversity. Malcolm, the retired detective, found purpose in mentoring the city's youth. He shared his knowledge, teaching them the art of investigation and instilling in them the values of integrity and justice. The next generation, once teetering on the edge of disillusionment, now walked the path of righteousness. The city's streets, once riddled with crime, were now patrolled by citizens turned vigilant protectors. Neighbors looked out for one another, and a sense of community had replaced the alienation of the past. Murals depicting the city's transformation adorned the walls, serving as a reminder of the resilience that defined its inhabitants. Dre's videos resonated far beyond the city's borders. People from all walks of life, inspired by his journey, joined the cause. Communities around the world began to share their stories of redemption, and the ripple effect of change spread like wildfire. The city's skyline, once a testament to the opulence of the corrupt, now glowed with a different kind of radiance. It was a glow born from the collective spirit of a city that had refused to surrender. The chapter closed with a montage of the city's revitalization, capturing moments of joy, unity, and progress. In the closing scenes, Dre stood on a rooftop, overlooking the city he had fought so hard to redeem. His eyes, once haunted by grief, now sparkled with hope. His journey had not only brought justice to his uncle's memory, but it also sparked a revolution of compassion, integrity, and the unwavering belief that change was not just a possibility, but an inevitability. The chapter ended, not with a conclusion, but with a promise that the city, once shackled by corruption, had found its redemption and would forever stand as a testament to the indomitable spirit of those who refused to surrender to the darkness. Chapter 13, Legacy of Whispers. The city, now a tapestry of stories, stood as a testament to the power of resilience. Every corner echoed with the whispers of transformation, and every soul bore the mark of change. Dre, the once solitary seeker of truth, found himself amidst a community united by hope and purpose. In the heart of the city's rebirth, a new initiative took shape, the Legacy of Whispers. It was more than a project. It was a promise, an oath to preserve the city's newfound spirit for generations to come. Dre, alongside Amelia, Malcolm, and a team of dedicated individuals, embarked on a mission to document the city's stories, ensuring that they would echo through time. The Legacy of Whispers project took form in an old, renovated library. The shelves, once laden with forgotten books, now housed a treasure trove of oral histories, photographs, and artifacts, each telling a unique tale of the city's transformation. In the midst of this archive, a recording studio stood as the heartbeat of the initiative. People from all walks of life streamed in, eager to share their stories. Veterans of the city's struggles, young activists, artists, and survivors, all found a voice within the Legacy of Whispers. The recording studio, bathed in soft light, became a sanctuary where the city's narratives unfolded, each word etched into the annals of history. One by one, these voices breathed life into the city's legacy. The elderly recounted tales of survival from a bygone era, their eyes reflecting the scars of battles fought. Young children, wide-eyed with wonder, spoke of dreams yet to be realized, their innocence a reminder of the city's potential. Their stories, once hidden in the shadows, now found resonance within the walls of the archive. Amelia, her pen now dedicated to chronicling the city's present, meticulously transcribed the narratives. Her hands, guided by reverence, transformed spoken words into written testimonies. Each story became a chapter, each chapter a thread weaving the city's past, present, and future into a seamless tapestry of inspiration. Malcolm, with his wealth of experience, mentored a new generation of investigators. The young minds, inspired by the city's transformation, learned the art of uncovering hidden truths, ensuring that the lessons of the past were never forgotten. His eyes sparkled with pride as he watched his protégés embrace the responsibility bestowed upon them. Dre, his camera capturing the essence of each storyteller, found his purpose in preserving the city's soul. His videos, once catalysts for change, now became chronicles of a city's legacy. He ventured into neighborhoods, capturing the pulse of the community, ensuring that no voice was left unheard. In the final moments of the chapter, the city gathered in a grand gala to celebrate the completion of the Legacy of Whispers initiative. The air was thick with anticipation as people from all walks of life mingled, their stories interweaving in a symphony of unity. The walls of the archive whispered with gratitude, echoing the tales it held within its embrace. Dre, Amelia, and Malcolm stood at the center of the gala, their eyes reflecting the pride of accomplishment. The city, once marred by corruption, now stood as a beacon of hope. The Legacy of Whispers was more than a project. It was a promise kept, a promise to the city's past, a celebration of its present, and a testament to its future. The chapter ended with a montage of the gala, the laughter, the tears, the shared moments of triumph. In the final frames, the camera zoomed out, capturing the city's skyline illuminated by 1,000 lights. The Legacy of Whispers had become more than a project. It was a living legacy, a testament to the indomitable spirit of a city that had refused to surrender to the shadows. And as the screen faded to black, the whispers of the city's past became a chorus of hope, of change, and of a legacy that would endure for generations, reminding the world that even in the face of darkness, the light of truth and transformation could prevail.